Tonight on News 5 Live, a deadly explosion in the Mennonite community, Newlyn, claims the lives of 2 children and leaves the family with severe injuries. It has been over a decade since the murders of Robert Veos and Karen Skeen and her daughter Tina. Their family demanding justice as the triple murder case meanders through the legal system. And BEL data hack. Is it connected to a series of social media hacks? These stories and more coming up on News 5 Live.
Make your summer better. Over $30,000 in cash and prizes with Smart Summer Sweepstakes. Here's how you can enter for a chance to win. Sign up for a smart postpaid, broadband, or VoIP plan. Use $100 or more regular prepaid credit. Do a SIM swap or text in to the shark code 786. In the body of the message, enter the number of entries you would like to purchase.
No waste, no time. You can be the winner of weekly prizes. All methods give you more chances to win. Local airline tickets, overnight stays at numerous resorts, cash prizes, gift certificates, and much, much more. One lucky person will win the grand prize valued at $10,000, courtesy of Smart and the Belize Tourism Board.
Promotion ends September 15th. So make your summer better by getting in the race to win with Smart's Summer Sweepstakes. Smart, bringing people together.
Come on! When hungry or craving, when laughter or tears, enjoy the best snacking or flavors are here. Asadas, bocadas, chiladas, doradas, delicious for snacking, the right is on here.
Done right, done here.
Users, vote for your favorite KTV contestant by texting the contestant's number and sending it to 588. Voting will be open from 8 p.m. on Tuesday until Sunday at midnight. Each vote costs 55 cents. Smart users, vote by texting the number of votes followed by a space, then your contestant's number, and send it to 5885. Each vote costs 50 cents. Here are this week's contestants.
Hola, don't let me cheat on my girlfriend. Cause as far as I can see, she loves only me. Girl, you're my angel, you're my darling angel. Cause it's in my beeps you are to me.
Talk about trust, talk about forever, baby. Talk about us. I give you my word.
Hosanna, Hosanna, Hosanna in the highest.
Fire was burning and burning till I dropped what she was holding in.
You get so close to me that I can almost taste you. Shadows grow so long before my eyes, and they're moving.
She said me don't make it and so much girl want give me pleasure, but so much means nothing if me not have you, girl, me suffer. Cause girl, are you me love, you me love.
Tune in to KTV The Remix Season 5 every Tuesday at 8 p.m. live only on 5.
This newscast is brought to you by the Belize Bank Limited. Our country, your bank.
Good evening and welcome to News 5 Live for Wednesday, July 19th. I am Sabrina Daly. It is one of the worst tragedies a family can endure. A combustion that kills 2 of their children, leaving all the other siblings and their parents with varying degrees of burn injuries. That is what happened on Tuesday night in the peaceful and remote Mennonite village of Newlyn in Corozal. The village has no electricity and no phone and internet service. The incident happened around 7:30 at the home of the Mennonite family, where the oldest child was filling up a kerosene lantern. But human error resulted in tragedy. That's where News 5's Marian Ali picks up the story.
It was a normal Tuesday evening for the Sawatsky family of the Mennonite community of Newland in Corozal. That is, until around 7:30 p.m. 15-year-old Helena Sawatsky was filling a kerosene lantern accidentally with gasoline, while her mother, 38-year-old Justina Sawatsky, flicked a lighter to light the lantern. That was when the lantern combusted, spilling gasoline on all the family members and simultaneously igniting a fire that left them literally fighting off flames from their bodies. Desperate attempts by the patriarch of the family, 39-year-old Henrik Sawatsky, to extinguish his family members who were burning alive was only successful for his wife and his two older children, Helena and Jacob, age 10, who suffered burns to both their hands. In the struggle, Sawatsky also suffered burns to both his hands as he tried to save his two youngest children, 3-year-old Anna and a 10-month-old baby girl, who both suffered severe burns to their entire bodies. The family sought medical attention at the Northern Regional Hospital, where the infant died. Little Anna was transferred to the Carl Hirschner Memorial Hospital, where she too succumbed early this morning. Today, Commissioner of Police Chester Williams confirmed it was human error that happened.
They believe that they were putting kerosene in the lamp when in fact it may have been gasoline. And when they lighted it, it blew up, causing injuries to the individuals. I think one person passed away. Police are still looking at that matter. Fire department is also involved, and then we'll see what the outcome of the fire investigation is going to be.
Is there any possibility of some type of charge, maybe even negligence?
At this time, we cannot say. We need to await the report from the fire department, and then we'll see how we go from there.
Meanwhile, an elder of Newland told News 5 that while the close-knit Mennonite community is shocked by the incident, they still hold staunchly to their religious beliefs and they do not want electricity in the village. They feel that electricity is even more dangerous than kerosene or gasoline, since faulty electrical connections or wires result in fires more frequently than not. Reporting for News 5, I'm Marion Ali.
Belize City Police have ramped up their presence in the Plough Street area following the deadly pre-dawn shooting of Jasmine Domingo and her 4-year-old daughter. The incident, according to Commissioner of Police Chester Williams, may have been precipitated by an internal feud within the George Street gang. Officers have been on patrol in the vicinity to prevent a reprisal in the wake of the shooting that claimed the life of the 23-year-old single mother.
Certainly that's an act of coward on the part of the person who did it. It's rather unfortunate that the young lady who died as a result of that coward act and the child that was injured. But the police are doing what we can to establish who is responsible. We have a basic idea, but we do need evidence to be able to prosecute whoever the person or persons may be. I can tell you that since that incident, we have stepped up our presence in the George Street area because somehow we believe that it is an internal rift between the George Street faction, and we're doing what we can to ensure that there is no retaliation. It is going to be hard, yes, but we will certainly do our best, and we assure the public that whatever we do will be for the best interest of those persons who resides within the George Street area.
Are you expecting retaliation, maybe even on the part of Jasmine's brother?
Of course we are expecting retaliation. That's why I'm saying that we are putting measures in place. I was on the grounds on Monday. I went back again yesterday, and I'm here again today. I'll be going back out there again just to give the public the assurance that we're doing our utmost best to avert any possible retaliation.
19-year-old Kijahe Molina charged with wounding 28-year-old Zani Savala, a police constable, was today offered bail of $1,000 when he appeared in the Belize City Magistrates Court to face the charge. Molina gave his occupation as a call center agent of Elston Kerr Street, Belize City. That is just 2 blocks from where the incident happened, around closing time at Goodwill store on Central American Boulevard on Monday night. Molina pleaded not guilty and asked to explain, but he was informed that since he pleaded not guilty, he will get the chance to explain when the trial comes up. His bail does come with conditions. He is not to contact or interfere with the Zavala or any member of his family, whether directly or indirectly. He is not to reach within 100 yards of Zavala. He is also not to be arrested and charged with any other offense while he is out on bail. Molina's next court case is set for September 19th. The sequence of events are that Zavala was working a special duty at the Goodwill shop, and just around closing time, a few minutes before 9, he closed the shop gate, leaving only the customers that were already inside to finish buying and paying for their goods. But he was approached by a youth who wanted to enter the shop, and even though Zavala said he explained that only the customers who were already inside were allowed there, the youth got angry. He said they began to argue, and the youth pulled out a knife from his left pants waist and stabbed him on the left arm. Other policemen in the area apprehended Molina a short while later. An accused burglar escaped from lawful custody earlier today after feigning illness during his court appearance in Corozal town. The suspect told the magistrate that he was not feeling well, and when a police officer was ordered to escort him to the hospital, he took off running. The officer quickly set chase, ran a short distance, and took a nasty spill. The accused then made good his escape. While the alleged thief remains at large, a short video clip of the pursuit has gone viral on social media. Here is Police Commissioner Chester Williams explaining what transpired.
I saw almost all media houses posting this video, making news out of somebody's misfortune. I don't know, but it goes to show the type of society we have become. People making fun of the police. Obviously the police was doing his job. He made an effort to pursue the suspect. And in the process, there was a drain. Apparently he was not looking how he was running and he tripped. Could happen to anybody, including, I have seen professional runners, people on track and field, tripping and falling. Why make a big deal because the police fell while pursuing a suspect? The young man in question had gone to court on burglary charges, and I guess he was playing possum to the magistrate that he was not feeling well, and the magistrate ordered the police to take him to the hospital. And as he got to the hospital, you saw what happened. He used that opportunity to escape. So obviously there was nothing wrong with him, but he just wanted to find a way to escape from the police. At this time, the police in Corozal are still in search of that individual, and we're hoping that he will be found very shortly.
The family of Karen and Tina Skeen, as well as Robert Veos Sr., is demanding justice 10 years after their loved ones were brutally murdered, allegedly at the hands of a son. Jared Rangai is believed to be the person who viciously dispatched his mother, sister, and stepfather inside their home in Ladyville back in November 2012. Since then, the criminal case against him has languished in the court amid changes to his legal team, as well as the judges presiding over the matter. Tonight, News 5's Isani Kayatano revisit that story and hears from the Skeen family.
In a society where the wheels of justice often grind slow, the families of murder victims can feel that they are powerless and that the system is working against them. In the early hours of November 25, 2012, the unthinkable happened in Ladyville. 3 persons, including Robert Veos Sr., his wife Karen Skeen, and her daughter Tina Skeen, had been slaughtered inside their family home on Mirage Road.
When I run straight down the street, there was a lot of screaming and bawling. You know, I went straight in and I saw my homeboy, my friend Jared. You know, he was bleeding from his forehead, sitting down, you know, front of the house, was trembling, shaking. I asked him what happened. You know, he told me it was a home invasion. You know, he was so frightened.
Arrested in the wake of the shocking triple homicide was 25-year-old Jared Rangai. He is the son of Karen Skeen. He is also the younger sibling of Tina Skeen. Rangai was subsequently charged with 3 counts of murder and placed on pretrial detention. That was over 10 years ago. Since then, there has been a number of developments in the case against him.
This November 25th makes it 11 years. And after being through some 17 court appearances, 7 attorneys, 2 judges, we're still at the same spot as of 11 years ago. However, the last case we attended about 3 months or so ago, my nephew Jared, who was in remand, requested the new attorney, which was then Godfrey Smith. He offered to do the case.
Of note is that Senior Counsel Godfrey Smith, as well as his legal team at Marine Parade Chambers, has represented Rangai in this very same matter previously. We also understand that this time he has offered to do so at no charge. Nonetheless, the case against Rangai has meandered through the legal system for over a decade. It brings into sharp focus the maxim that if justice is not served in a timely manner, it is as if no justice is served.
He requested 3 months to prepare for the case. The case was supposed to start, I think, June 28th. We went to court and he requested 3 more months. So now the case is set to start October 10th. At this point, the way the family feels is that justice delayed, justice denied. It's not about just not us, the family, the surviving family, but the 3 victims. It becomes a point where we feel like Jared, who allegedly committed these murders, is manipulating the system, and it's working on his behalf.
At the end of March, Rangai, now 36, fired attorney Urson O.J. Ellerington from this case. He was subsequently assigned attorney Leslie Hamilton, who informed the court that he was unable to take on the matter because he was a neighbor, as well as a good friend of the family. That's when Rangai reverted to Marine Parade Chambers for legal counsel. The turn of events, however, ended with Justice Ricardo O'Neill Sancroft recusing himself from the case.
Justice for, like I said, my sister Karen, my niece Tina, and my brother-in-law Robert. Justice for them. That's the most important thing at this point. However, what I want to see, or what we want to see him found guilty and spend the rest of his life in jail. That's what we want to see.
At the time, Jermaine Daly, a next-door neighbor who responded to the scene of the gruesome murders, told News 5 that Rangai informed him that Karen Skeen was still breathing after being shot in the head and butchered with a knife.
From what I see, my friend Jared was telling me that my mama is still breathing. My mama is still alive in there. So I was, I went in a rage. I start tripping, start cuss up, because I want to know, why I can't carry my neighbor to the hospital, you understand? If it's still a breed, When I came, it was just 2 police standing right there. 45 minutes after that, ambulance come. Ambulance came cruising, peeping, and I know if you don't know that the people had done there, so you never really rush, take your time. Now me still hype, I bust open the back door, grab the ambulance bed, pull it out, and I push it in there.
At the onset of whatever would have taken place in court, as the reporter who covered the initial story, I recall talks of some kind of a psychiatric evaluation to determine the mental state of Jared at the time. What can you tell us in respect of that? Was that ever done? Was that entered into evidence at some point? Where are we with that?
Yeah, they did one, I think it was in 2017, where it was one of the attorneys' dad, who's a doctor, who did it. The court didn't accept it. I don't know why. I don't know if it was conflict of interest. But what I do know is that they're saying that there's no one in Belize qualified to do a evaluation like that. Now, the last court hearing we attended, they said they were bringing somebody in from, I think it's from Great Britain, England, that will be doing it, and it should be done sometime this month.
Reporting for News 5, I am Isane Cayetano.
Coming up, is Plus TV's email hack linked to BEL's ransomware? Find out the details of these stories when we come back.
Babe, have you seen the advisory that NEMA just posted? There's going to be a storm.
Storm? It's not a storm. That's just a little rain. We'll be all right.
Thank goodness that was only a simulation. But what if it wasn't? Consider this. You've worked hard building your future, your family, your business, your home. RF&G Insurance has policy options that can protect your most valued assets so that you can focus on what matters most. Include RF&G Insurance in your hurricane prep. Remember, it pays to get it right with RF&G Insurance, a Road Group company.
Bye. Why long time to try call you?
Meet Alex.
Where they go on, man?
Alex signed up for a DigiOne Premium Bundle. He's loving it. With his free mobile plan, Alex can talk and surf on the go as much as he wants. Topping up and buying data is a thing of the past. Alex now has DigiTV. He enjoys all his games and his favorite shows, no matter if he's on the go or at home. And Alex also enjoys the fastest, most reliable home internet speeds with his DigiNet service. He is living his best life. Alex bundled. Alex is saving $70 monthly compared to purchasing these services from the other providers. Be like Alex. Sign up for your DigiOne bundle package today. DigiOne. One bundle, no hassle, exceptional value.
Investment Services Explained. In September 1999, SSB's Mortgage and Investment Unit was created. The unit later became the Investment Department in 2005 and officially Investment Services in October 2007. So, what is the Investment Services role? How does Investment Services help to support Social Security and you? And why is Investment Services important to Belize? Investment Services' function is to make prudent investments in the form of commercial loans, shares, and real estate development. The interest income generated from these investments ensures the fund is sustainable to pay current and future Social Security benefits to its insured persons. The investment income is used to support the working population and pay pensions such as retirement and invalidity. Additionally, investment loans support economic development through commercial loans to startup and existing businesses while aiding in increased production of goods and services. We can expect investment services to continuously impact the lives of every insured person through Social Security pensions. Investment services will continue to support the Belizean economy through secure investments in various industries. And that is why investment services exists. Social Security Board, an investment for you, your family, your future.
I'm a fourth farm student at Escuela Secundaria Técnica Mexico. And firstly, I would like to thank BEL for this opportunity, for we not only obtain prizes that facilitate our student life, but also knowledge in things that are essential into our everyday lives, such as energy.
we are thrilled with the prizes that our students have received, and so we are certain that they are very happy. When we communicated with their parents, they were also very excited to get to know that their children were being recognized.
Through this energy challenge, I learned many things that can be applied to my daily life, such as tips on conservation of energy, which I can apply at home.
First and foremost, we want to thank BEL for coming up with these challenges and also taking into consideration the schools and our students. In our case, it helps us to and helps our students to challenge themselves in the knowledge and content that they have.
I would like to give a big thanks to BEL for giving this opportunity. It is an amazing opportunity for us students, as the prizes will help us in our studies and that they continue to challenge the students.
It's disgusting, I would put it that way. It's the worst document I have ever seen. It is morally wrong, it is ethically wrong, disgusting.
That's what Minister Julius Espat had to say about the definitive agreement John Briceño tried to pass in Cabinet. The same agreement that John Briceño, Chris Cowie, and Anthony Mahler are renegotiating with Portico and Royal Caribbean.
But we are doing a disservice to Belize.
So why is Prime Minister John Briceño still hell-bent on the disastrous Portico project? Even though Portico's corrupt definitive agreement has been exposed, its access to the seabed uncertain, and there are multiple lawsuits challenging its questionable EIA, Briceño and Chris Cowie are still shamelessly hot for Portico. Minister Julius Espat has said no to Portico and the pension plan for the boys.
It's the worst document I have ever seen. It is morally wrong, it is ethically wrong. It's disgusting, disgusting, disgusting.
All cabinet ministers should say no to the pension plan for the boys and stand up for Belize.
Every project has to start somewhere, and Brothers Habet's got you covered. We're the place for professionals because we understand success is built on quality and reliability. For the do-it-yourselfers seeking quality tools and materials to bring their out-of-the-box ideas to life, our paint department offers a kaleidoscope of hues to those looking to express their unique style. And for those seeking the perfect touch of elegance for their homes, we offer a curated collection of household fixtures and furnishings that caters to every taste. But what sets Brothers Habet apart is our exceptional customer service. Our employees go above and beyond to ensure that every customer's needs are met. We're here to see you through your building journey. Visit Brothers Habet and get started today, or call or WhatsApp us for a quote. See you soon.
On Tuesday, the Belize Electricity Limited held a press conference to provide details on the company's recent encounter with hackers and the large quantity of data leaked from its information technology system. At the end of June, BEL representatives received an email from a random, unknown address with information that the company's network has a serious vulnerability and that company data would be published if the email was not responded to. Based on advice from its cybersecurity consultants, BEL did not respond to those emails. On June 13th, evidence was provided through the CEO in the Ministry of Public Utilities that a large quantity of the company's stored data had been published on the dark web. In the interview on Tuesday, the company explained that the leak did not include sensitive information such as banking and credit card data. What are those 10,000 customers whose data were published on the dark web exposed to further attacks? Here is what one reporter asked.
Since, as the CEO said, you don't store that type of sensitive information like credit card numbers, there's no customers or even shareholders, employees, they don't have to fear then that somebody will be using their information for whatever purposes, identity theft, anything like that.
Well, there's always a risk of the use of your personal information for unscrupulous activities. And so there's no assurance that we may not have some actors out here who would want to take advantage of your personal information being exposed out there. But I can tell you, from the credit card or actual banking information, all the transactions currently being handled between a customer and BL as it relates to bill payments through the banking system or credit card payments through the banking system utilizes banking software, not BL specific software, to handle those transactions. And so we have zero records of customer credit card information or banking information.
Sean Fuller, the General Manager of Finance and Business Support at BEL, went on to explain all the additional measures the company is putting in place in an attempt to ensure that any further cyber attacks does not result in a data leak.
We're making very big moves in maintaining, securing our networks from these type of events. I'll briefly tell you some of the things the new committee, the CSIRT committee, is working on. We're obviously, like I said, continuing to analyze the data that was leaked to determine the extent of the exposure. Because as the CEO said, we want to be able to call every single person affected and apologize and share with them the exact extent of the information that was leaked. But we're also continuing to engage very credible, world-renowned cybersecurity experts to assist us with the continual improvement of our security posture. We are also looking at critical system isolation to be able to protect customer data and to be able to maintain service reliability to our customers. As you know, our business is providing energy services and electricity. We're making sure we isolate the necessary infrastructure to ensure that we can maintain that service reliability. We're implementing a whole host of additional monitoring, detection, and prevention tools, and some additional firewalls or firewall configuration based on the recommendations of these security experts that we have working with us. We obviously will make some adjustments as to what type of information we keep on customers that is needed to open your accounts. There's no need, for instance, for us to keep an actual copy of our social security card. Once we've confirmed you are who you say you are, and we confirm this by your social security card and validation. So we'll make some adjustments as to what we actually keep on our systems, on customers and contractors and other stakeholders. We are going to improve, as we have been doing continually, our incident response plan. We're going to be using the lessons learned from these two events, the hack between March and May and the actual data leak, to improve our incident response plan, to be able to respond more efficiently, and to be able to understand some of the things that is out there now that continues to change every day, that these hackers use, the tools and the techniques that they use. And obviously, we're going to continue with the penetration tests and the incidents of compromise testing that we do to our system to ensure that not we would have the level of assurance from our own works, but we'll get independent experts from outside of BL to test what we've done and to tell us, you know what, there's a little area here that you might want to improve, or you're doing well here.
There have been several persons reporting of their emails having been hacked. They've been locked out and security barriers put in place, preventing them from regaining access. One such case is that of Plus TV in Belmopan. Its managing director, Louis Wade Jr., says that since 3 p.m. on Tuesday, he lost control of the company's main email and, by extension, its YouTube channel. Wade Jr. describes the hacking as sophisticated because one of the changes that were done, including installing 2-level of security that Plus TV did not implement.
There is a cell phone and a laptop, and then all the other systems are attached to that particular account that we do some of the work at Plus TV. And I was out in a rural area for about 5 hours. And so this is not a phishing event where we clicked on a wrong link or went to a wrong page. This is not what happened because one device was totally off the net, off the grid. And the second device, which I had personally, was not attached to doing any particular work with emails. I could not access our YouTube channel. And it was at that point that I asked if someone had simply made any changes at all to the YouTube channel, to which the answer was no. So at that point, I went to the backup Gmail account. So there is a Yahoo account that is linked to the Gmail account. So if there are any issues on the Gmail account, a notification would be sent to the Yahoo account. And when we checked the Yahoo account, it said that someone had changed both the primary and secondary verification on the account. So it said, if you don't want it to happen, click here. When we clicked that, the link had already expired. What the hackers did that we know for a fact that it is hacking is, number one, as I said, there was no phishing. Number two is that they changed the password, and then they dislocated the option where you can use an old password. The use of an old password was dislocated. The cell number, which gives you a notification, was also dislocated. And then the secondary email address that you can use to verify was also dislocated, so that whenever a verification is requested, it goes directly to the same account that was hacked.
Louis Wade Jr. says that the media house has been decentralizing apps attached to that Gmail account. But it has affected the company significantly because there were several other activities connected to that account. Wade cannot confirm that it is directly linked to BEL's ransomware incident. However, the email in question was used as part of the data information shared with the utility company.
It is the first thing that came to mind because this has never happened before. Secondly, it did not occur through the normal channel, which is, as I said, phishing, where you click a wrong link. This is the account that we do receive our billing, electronic billing. It's one of those accounts. And it is interesting as it relates to the timing that not only us at Plus TV, Sobel, which is a related media house with us in the South, said that they're having issues as well. And many other people are having issues as well at this particular point in time. Only if we are able to solve the issue will we be able to know for sure if it is related. The timing is interesting, but we are hopeful that the people we have working on the issue we hope that they will be able to give us some feedback.
Several weeks ago, the Belize Sugar Industries Limited filed a claim challenging certain aspects of the Sugar Industry Regulations 2023. An emergency injunction hearing was scheduled to take place on July 21st. But the government's legal team and BSI have reached an agreement to maintain the status quo until the substantive case is concluded. In other words, the areas of the regulations being contested will not apply to BSI until and unless a judge decides they are lawful. One portion of the regulation being challenged is the stipulation that BSI must pay fair trade premiums directly to associations for them to obtain their export license. Sean Chavarria, the Director of Finance at BSI, spoke with reporters this evening.
What has occurred is that At the time when the new regulation was introduced, we had some very serious concerns with the new regulation. We felt that there were different aspects that violated our rights and would have had a negative impact on our business, which could have impacted our operations and even how we pay for cane. And so to avoid any short-term adverse impacts, we applied for an emergency injunction so that a judge can review, in particular, the sections of the new regulations that we had challenged. And so that emergency injunction was going to take place on the 21st of July, but we've come to an agreement with the attorneys for the government to essentially leave the status quo, whereby the sections of the law that we have challenged will in effect not apply until the substantive matter is heard by a judge. And we know that that will take some months, perhaps a ruling until maybe next year to be received. So those aspects of the regulations that we have challenged, those will in effect be put on hold while the matter is heard. So for us, it's the outcome we would have wanted, whereby our business can continue to operate without any adverse impact until we get a ruling from the judge. So we're not expecting any impact on getting licenses for exporting sugar, any permits, and which could have had a negative impact on our business. The impact that it could have had is that if there were certain sections of the regulations which we believe we cannot comply with from a practical and a legal standpoint, and if we don't comply, then it gives the power to the minister and the Sugar Industry Control Board and the Supplies Control Unit to not issue us a license to export sugar or a permit to export sugar. And so if we are unable to export sugar, it means that we cannot function as a business.
In other sugar-related news, the Belize Sugar Industries Limited reported the second highest sugarcane price estimates since the year 2000. According to the company, the 2022-2023 cane crop's second payment was made today at an average of $20.10. The season's first payment came in at $43.63. Sean Chavarria, the Director of Finance at BSI, further explained.
Today, we made a second payment to farmers here in the north. The second payment estimate is $70.22, which, as highlighted in our press release, is the second highest since 2000. And so it's 2 consecutive years of very good sugar prices. Certainly much higher than last year. The cane price estimate of last year was just over $63. Now it's $70. So we're at this point close to the final payment for last year, which was just over $70 as well. So it's a good news item. It's something that's positive for the industry. We know that farmers have been struggling with high inputs, and we hope that with the higher cane payment, the farmers can now have some funds to put in fertilizer, herbicide into their fields, perhaps even manage pest control.
After the break, Cayo and Orange Walk districts recording highest cases of dengue.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Welcome to the neighborhood. How are you?
I'm kind of okay. The thing is, I've been living here for the past 2 months now, and I haven't gotten the chance to transfer my telephone and transfer my cable. I have been so caught up and so busy dealing with the kids and unpacking and organizing that the time is not enough.
Really? There is one more thing that you need to add to that transfer list. Haven't you seen the ad from the Elections and Boundaries Department advising it's the transfer of electors period? July and August of each year are the only 2 months that you can do that?
Every year, July 1st to August 31st, registered persons can be transferred from one electoral division to another. The law states that after a registered person has resided in a new division for at least 2 months, the elector shall visit the Elections and Boundaries Registration Office in his or her new division and apply for a transfer. Electors are urged to provide true and accurate information, as it is an offense to give false information. Electors are encouraged to bring along their voter's identification card or any other picture identification, such as a passport, social security card, or a driver's license, along with a utility bill in the elector's name, which will assist us in the verification of your new address.
Since I'm here now and I'm in the transfer mode, I will go down to the Election and Boundaries Registration Office to apply to be transferred in my new division. And I must ensure that I have a say in who represent me in my new constituency in which I reside.
Do remember that electors are urged to give true and accurate information, for it is an offense to give false information.
Thanks for that, man.
This is a message from the Elections and Boundaries Department.
Do you love to write? And are you currently enrolled in primary school? Well, this is your opportunity to win awesome prizes for yourself and your school. Students from Standards 4, 5, and 6 are invited to participate in BEL's 2023 Primary School Essay Competition. Here is how you can participate. In your own words, explain what our 2023 Safety and Health Week theme means to you. Personal accountability and shared responsibility, cultivating safe values and attitudes. 9 prizes will be awarded for first, second, and third place in each standard. First place winners will receive a laptop, $1,000 plus $2,000 for their school. Second place winners will receive a laptop plus $750. And third place winners will receive a laptop plus $500. Essays should be a maximum of 500 words and submitted in PDF format with your name, school, class, and contact number. Submit your essay to safety@bel.com.bz no later than Monday, July 31st, 2023. Let your ideas take flight and win with BEL's annual primary school essay competition.
The Belize Tourism Board, Mars Production, and Belican present the biggest show to hit the jewel we call Belize. It's the Belize International Music and Food Festival 2.0. Join us on Saturday, July 29th and Sunday, July 30th at the Marion Jones Stadium with live performances by Morgan Heritage, the dancehall queen Spice, Busy Signal, Afrobeat sensation Rotini, dancehall artist for 2023, Byron Messiah, alongside Skinny Fabulous, Jadelle, Earth and Owls, Mr. Warming Up Adam O, and Lyrical. The Belize International Music and Food Festival 2.0, July 29th and 30th. Come savor the rhythm as we pair music with the best of Belizean cuisine. Sponsors are Belize Tourism Board, Belican, Niche, Pop, ICB, Wine Smith, eCash, Dolphin Production, DigiWallet, Channel 5, Love FM, Creme Radio, Channel 7, Vibes Radio, Fiesta FM, and OYE Radio.
Get out and explore this weekend with Caribbean Sprinter. With our ferries, you'll get to San Pedro, Belize City, and Key Cocker faster and smarter. Visit Caribbean Sprinter online at sprinter.bz.
6 things you should know about dengue. Dengue is a viral disease that, if left untreated, can be fatal in a matter of hours. Dengue virus is transmitted by the Aedes aegypti mosquito. This is the same vector that transmits Zika and chikungunya. If you experience fever, headache, muscle pain, rash, nausea, or vomiting, do not self-medicate. Visit your nearest health service immediately. Dengue can be confused with other diseases, so diagnosis must be made in a health center or hospital. To prevent dengue, you should protect yourself from mosquito bites. And to prevent bites, eliminate mosquito breeding sites. Visit our website for more information.
all business owners in Belize. The second Belize Investment Summit 2023 is on its way on August 30th to September 1st, 2023. Join us at the Grand Caribe Belize in San Pedro for 3 days of networking, presentations, and high-level discussions with key local and international decision makers. Do you have a business plan or are trying to expand your business reach and you just need the right investor to make it happen? Then you need to attend the Belize Investment Summit 2023. Don't miss out on this chance to take your business to the next level. Register for the Belize Investment Summit today at www.investmentsummit.bz.
The rainy season has begun, and as a country, we are in the summer months, which are traditionally known for a spike in dengue cases. With the COVID pandemic, there was a drastic decrease in the recorded number of cases, not only in Belize, but also in the Central American and Caribbean regions. There is a resurgence of dengue cases this year, and the numbers are up. But it is not as alarming as 2019, when there was a dengue pandemic that saw over 8,000 cases and 10 dengue-related deaths recorded. Vector Control Chief of Operations Kim Bautista tells News 5 that at week 28, the country has already surpassed last year's figures for dengue.
The region, after having, I would say, enjoyed 2 years of very low number of cases during the pandemic, we started seeing an increase in cases in the region last year. Not alarmingly, but basically going back to what was the current trends that were expected. And then this year, even before the rain start, for the first half of the year, we started seeing regionally an increase in dengue cases. It varied by country. I think the most recent data that came out earlier today in the region from WHO shows an increase that ranges between 25 to 50% increase in the region, depending on the country. That is also true for Belize as well. Last year, we had reported 830 cases countrywide for the entire year. This year, we are already up to 881 cases as of this past Saturday, which is the conclusion of the epidemiology week 28.
As of this past Saturday, July 15th, the data for 2023 is showing the Orange Walk and Cayo districts recording the highest number of lab-confirmed and clinical cases of dengue. These figures are 223 and 327 respectively. Ironically, Belize District, which has ordinarily recorded the highest numbers, is next to the lowest with only 97 total cases. Vector Control Chief of Operations Kim Bautista explains what is responsible for this shift.
We are seeing an increase in dengue cases, but not in the traditional areas like Belize City. We're seeing increase in cases in the Orange Walk and Cayo district, also in the Corozal district. Over the past couple of weeks, we saw a little bit of an increase. But for the most part, I think that with the increase in the rains, we did see a little spike, but before that, we were seeing an increase in cases regardless. I mean, people were storing a lot of water. You have a lot of other breeding sites that are around, like tire shops. The coconut water industry is really taking off. We had a cleanup campaign this weekend. We saw, I mean, we removed hundreds and hundreds of improperly disposed coconut shells in some people's yards in the north. It's just been a challenging year in that regard. So even though we weren't seeing a lot of rains for the first half of the year, we were still seeing a lot of cases in certain areas, especially in some rural communities as well.
Dengue is a disease driven mostly by socioeconomic conditions, including poor drainage, housing and infrastructure, and poor solid waste disposal. And so there is a shared responsibility at the individual level, the community level, and guided by the Ministry of Health and Wellness. So the Vector Control Chief of Operations shares what can be done.
The peak transmission period for dengue tends to be around July and August. So we're at mid-July at this point. Countrywide, we are doing our regular interventions in terms of mosquito control services that we provide, ULV spraying in the public, and the inspections that we do at the community level. So we expect that within a couple of weeks for things to sort of go back down to normal transmission levels. We started the ULV spraying. It carried through throughout the Christmas season, all the way up to after the Easter. And then we took a break, got our equipment serviced and prepared. And then we resumed the spraying operations sometime in late May. And that hasn't really stopped, and that will continue until we see a change in terms of the transmission countrywide. So in terms of the day-to-day operations, it entails inspections of people's yards or their premises, as we refer to them, looking for containers that have mosquito larvae. So we are doing that. One of the things that we have been trying to promote is working along with the various municipal bodies to engage more in community cleanups. As I mentioned, that we've done some in the north that have proven successful, and it's something that we need to replicate. We want to appeal to the general public to basically take their responsibility as well in terms of looking at keeping the drains flowing in front of their yards, taking a little walk around the yard at least once a week, removing unnecessary containers that are holding water. These are things that basically will reduce the mosquito population. And then with the ministry doing its routine activities, its spraying operations, it complements that, and you see results.
Back in June of this year, Belize was certified by the World Health Organization as a malaria-free country. It's a significant accomplishment for the country's public health history. Malaria, like dengue, is a vector-borne disease. But then there is also Zika and chikungunya. So where is Belize when it comes to cases of these two diseases?
In terms of the other vector-borne diseases, in the region, the two primary mosquito-borne diseases are Zika and chikungunya, apart from dengue. So fortunately for us, it's been the data that I'm looking at for this year and last year, we haven't reported any of those other two vector-borne diseases. So, which is, as I said, it's a good thing.
When we return, WWF responds to questions about Royal Caribbean Partnership.
Honda Navi, a partner you can rely on. Benquip, equipment, parts, service.
It's disgusting, I would put it that way. It's the worst document I have ever seen. It is morally wrong, it is ethically wrong, disgusting.
That's what Minister Julius Espat had to say about the definitive agreement John Briceño tried to pass in Cabinet. The same agreement that John Briceño, Chris Cowie, and Anthony Mahler are renegotiating with Portico and Royal Caribbean.
But we are doing a disservice to Belize.
So why is Prime Minister John Briceño still hell-bent on the disastrous Portico project? Even though Portico's corrupt definitive agreement has been exposed, its access to the seabed uncertain, and there are multiple lawsuits challenging its questionable EIA, Briceño and Chris Cowie are still shamelessly hot for Portico. Minister Julius Espat has said no to Portico and the pension plan for the boys.
It's the worst document I have ever seen. It is morally wrong, it is ethically wrong. It's disgusting, disgusting, disgusting.
All cabinet ministers should say no to the pension plan for the boys and stand up for Belize.
It seems like every other day, we hear of a family member or friend being diagnosed with a serious illness such as cancer, heart attack, kidney failure, or stroke. When these illnesses strike, you want to focus on recovery and your overall well-being. At RFNG Life Insurance, we offer critical illness insurance to help with medical expenses when diagnosed with such critical illnesses, providing security to access quality healthcare facilities and to ease the worry about finances. In case you are diagnosed with a life-threatening illness that is covered by the policy, critical illness insurance pays you a lump sum amount to help you obtain access to quality treatment and medication. Having critical illness insurance provides the financial support that will bring you and your family the security and peace of mind necessary to manage these illnesses. The possibility of being diagnosed can be worrying, but by having a critical illness plan, you could have funds to assist with expenses such as medications, hospital deductibles, childcare, household expenses, and so much more. The right time to plan for the unexpected is when you're healthy. For more information, visit our office today to speak with one of our experienced agents about critical illness insurance. Your health and wellness is what matters most. Take care of it.
Get ready, babe. We're going on a vacation.
Finally, where are we going?
Don't worry, babe. I have we covered.
Are you sure you know where we're going?
Yes, babe. Oh, right there, see? Babe, the price me too good to be true. Me look much more better in that picture.
When life throws you a curveball, Belize Bank has your back. With our online financing, you can turn any vacation mishap into a dream getaway.
Cheers to Belize Bank for making our dream vacation a reality.
Thanks to you, babes, to turn things around.
No thanks to you, cheapo.
Out.
Experience the future of financing with Belize Bank online, where you can secure funds for anything, from anywhere, at any time, all without stepping foot in a bank. Apply for a loan today and unlock a world of possibilities.
Smart introduces Real Unlimited Postpaid Plans, providing customers with unlimited talk, unlimited text, and unlimited data. Now that's a real great deal. With Smart Plus, Share 1 and 2, and Enterprise 1 and 2 plans, you can talk as much as you want, text as much as you want, and for the first time ever in Belize, you can enjoy unlimited data with your postpaid plan. So come in and sign up for an unlimited postpaid plan and enjoy limitless possibilities. In addition, other plans such as the Flex Junior, Choice, and Select have been boosted with a lot more talk, text, and data, providing you with the best value for your budget. Be unlimited with Smart. It's time to power your dollar with Smart.
The United Democratic Party has issued a 3-page release in which it expresses growing concern about the economic viability of the current proposals, as well as the detrimental environmental impact of the proposed Port of Magical Belize project. The release points to the project's proposed clearance of almost 400 hectares of mangroves, despite the importance of conserving mangroves and the critical role they play in building resilience. Furthermore, the UDP release also points to the impact the proposed road project will have on the mangroves that it will be centered in. And in the middle of the proposed development stands the World Wildlife Fund, WWF. The WWF and Royal Caribbean Group have a joint press release dating back to April of last year, in which they confirm joining forces. Royal Caribbean announced its, quote, commitment to the next phase of its ongoing partnership with WWF for guidance and counsel in establishing bold environmental goals and sustainable business practices, end quote. The two have said that the next 5 years of the partnership will focus on setting ambitious, measurable sustainability targets around the reduction of carbon emissions, the sustainable growth and development of the business, sustainable commodity sourcing and tourism, the elimination of single-use plastics and waste management, among other areas. And they have pledged to work together to establish sustainability goals across 3 key areas of ship, sea, and shore. And in yet another recent press release, the WWF expresses concerns about the potential environmental and social impact of the development of new ports, including Port of Magical. It states, quote, poorly designed infrastructure can cause significant harm to biodiversity, the natural coastal environment, our climate, and local communities. The potential for destruction of mangrove forests and disruption of the free movement of species should be addressed and avoided, end quote. The WWF urges the government of Belize to exercise caution with strong due process and input from the environmental community. Over the weekend, Prime Minister John Bersenio traveled to Brussels, Belgium to attend the European Union Community of Latin American and Caribbean States Summit 2023. The 2-day event saw heads of state and government convene for the first time in 8 years. Coming out of the summit was a joint declaration on digital alliance, which was among the many issues discussed. During day 2, Prime Minister of Barbados, Mia Mottley, in a speech, said that institutional reformation is needed for funding the climate crisis, preparation for pandemic, and the consequences of war and fragility, as well as food and water security and digital divide. Prime Minister Mottley went on to say that something is fundamentally wrong with the global decision-making processes. Here's an excerpt from her speech.
The climate crisis is upon us in ways that we all accept. But yet we are not seeming to act with the laser focus that is required if we are going to be equal to the moment and equal to the time. The reality is that we need to be able to understand that the task of saving both people and planet are equal and that we are not a one-issue civilization. We have come to this point without adequately preparing ourselves to bring along our people and without adequately acting to save the planet. In spite of having access to the knowledge for the last century, we are rushing now to be able to act. The difficulty is that our actions require changes in access to money, changes in access to rules, changes in access to in our philosophy. An imperialistic framework for the structure of international organizations is not going to bring about the solutions in a moral and strategic way necessary to save the planet. And we're seeing the examples of that expressed throughout all that we do. Similarly, we are not in a position to secure the global public goods that are necessary. The pandemic floored almost every one of our nations, and in spite of the fact that we have that recent example, we're not mobilizing the capital necessary to avoid the next pandemic or indeed to fight the slow motion silent pandemic of antimicrobial resistance. The reform of our international financial institutions is critical if our countries are able to summon not just the will, but the capacity to be able to prepare themselves to become more resilient.
A team of powerlifting athletes departs for the Cayman Islands on August 6th, where members will participate in various categories of competition as they represent the jewel. Earlier today, the National Sports Council handed over official tracksuits to be worn by the team during the event. Present were Powerlifting Association President Khalid Usher and Sports Director Iris Centino.
It's the first time we're having official tracksuits for our national team. This year we have 18 people going into the Cayman Islands. That's the biggest team we've had for powerlifting in the country since we started in 2018. So it's a very exciting day. The Sports Council in Belize City here is giving us the tracksuits. It's part of their donation to us, and we're very thankful.
Every discipline is given the opportunity to athletes in the country. And I am very happy today. Well, it's a special day. I will be showing off later that I had the opportunity to present or hand over the tracksuits. That's the reason that we're gathered here, and I am happy that I'm a part of this special day for you all. For the persons here representing us, go out there, be proud, make memories, but at the same time remember that jersey. Bring back something memorable for us, build it, your families, your friends, everyone will be so proud of you. But what matters the most is that you are proud of yourself and you're doing something positive for Belize. Because I'm sure if you're involved in sport, that means that you're a better citizen. If you're involved in sports, I know you're passionate. So definitely whatever you're doing in Belize is 100% the best out of you, right?
Up next, coding for elementary school students in San Ignacio.
It's disgusting, I would put it that way. It's the worst document I have ever seen. It is morally wrong, it is ethically wrong, disgusting.
That's what Minister Julius Espat had to say about the definitive agreement John Briceño tried to pass in Cabinet. The same agreement that John Briceño, Chris Cowie, and Anthony Mahler are renegotiating with Portico and Royal Caribbean.
But we are doing a disservice to Belize.
So why is Prime Minister John Briceño still hell-bent on the disastrous Portico project? Even though Portico's corrupt definitive agreement has been exposed, its access to the seabed uncertain, and there are multiple lawsuits challenging its questionable EIA, Briceño and Chris Cowie are still shamelessly hot for Portico. Minister Julius Espat has said no to Portico and the pension plan for the boys.
It's the worst document I have ever seen. It is morally wrong, it is ethically wrong. It's disgusting, disgusting, disgusting.
All cabinet ministers should say no to the pension plan for the boys and stand up for Belize.
Taking its name from the venerable father of the nation, the George Price Highway stretches 77 miles from Belize City to Dengue Viejo. Originally built in the 1930s, this cross-country highway system is the artery that links Belize to Central America at the western border with Guatemala. That connection facilitates overland trade, supporting Belize's economic development. Winding its way across the scenic countryside, the George Price Highway, from Roaring Creek to Esperanza, has been fully reconstructed to meet international standards, with particular emphasis on road safety. A shorter and hassle-free commute is best enjoyed when everyone obeys the traffic laws. To reduce the number and frequency of road traffic accidents, it means that a seatbelt must be worn at all times, and the speed limit observed when traveling along the highway. It also means that pedestrians must use sidewalks and crosswalks where available. Buses should only board and discharge passengers at a designated bus stop. Road safety is everyone's responsibility. It begins with you.
Make your summer better. Over $30,000 in cash and prizes with Smart Summer Sweepstakes. Here's how you can enter for a chance to win. Sign up for a smart postpaid, broadband, or VoIP plan. Use $100 or more regular prepaid credit, do a SIM swap, or text in to the shark code 786. In the body of the message, enter the number of entries you would like to purchase.
No waste, no time. You can be the winner of weekly prizes. All methods give you more chances to win. Local airline tickets, overnight stays at numerous resorts, cash prizes, gift certificates, and much, much more. One lucky person will win the grand prize valued at $10,000, courtesy of Smart and the Belize Tourism Board.
Promotion ends September 15th. So make your summer better by getting in the race to win with Smart's Summer Sweepstakes. Smart, bringing people together.
Coding or computer programming is the skill utilized to tell a machine which actions to perform and how to complete a task. In San Ignacio, a group of primary school students is spending the summer learning how to code. They have been sacrificing time away from their electronic devices at home and playing with friends in their neighborhoods to learn computer programming, a skill that was in the past reserved for tertiary level students. News 5's Paul Lopez has the story.
Back in March, the government of Belize launched the Teodoso Ochoa Digital Connect Center in San Ignacio. Since then, the center has been serving the community in numerous ways. During the summer break, programs have been organized for children, including sporting activities, remedial reading classes, arts and craft, and coding. This group of primary school students has spent the last 3 weeks learning computer programming.
I'd rather be here because here I can create my own games, add sound effects and backgrounds. When I'm playing on my tablet, I'm doing things, playing games that other people made. But here I get to use my imagination and create my own games.
Judy Bautista is the coding instructor here at the Digital Connect Center. She explained that through these hands-on lessons, her students are learning to develop their own software. Most of them began the classes 3 weeks ago with little to no knowledge about coding.
Just as how you see Minecraft, games, different apps on YouTube, and different software they're developing, the students here are practicing this skill. They're actually understanding how it works behind the scenes. So instead of just playing at home with their tablet, playing Minecraft, now they're creating their own games. They're creating their own sprites, adding animations, behaviors, backgrounds, location, color, and they interact. They're interactive.
This is sprites, not the sprite that you drink. It's like a character in a game or animation that moves and how it behaves. In like a game like Pac-Man, Mario, like you see that when you're offline, that dinosaur that this is sprites. It could be an object, an animal, or a person. My objective is this. As you can see, it's like a aquarium,
And all of these are like the pieces of code. If you go to here, you can see the actual code, which is Java language. And when you press run, it shows like this.
Natalia Montes and Viraj Dhaliwal were able to demonstrate the lessons they have learned over the last 3 weeks. Montes shared how she thinks these skills can be applied to real-world scenarios.
You see those Teslas, like the electrical cars, those are used with codes. And those codes make the car able to move, and you can speak, and the car will automatically do it for you. I think it's like good because I could be my own boss and make my own company.
They do learn how to use this really fast. When they came in day 1, they didn't know much. And now they're at lesson 10. They know how to use the coding blocks. They know how to create sprites. They know how to debug. Imagine, and we learned this in 6th form. It is exciting because I think this is one of the first of its kind here in San Ignacio or in Cayo District. I'm not sure if there's any other coding instructions happening around Belize.
When the day is over, the entire class gathers to review the challenges faced and the lessons learned during the class time. Instructor Bautista concludes her class with a little pep talk to her students.
Today I learned about how to hold like the robot and collecting them. That was easy and I liked that part, but it was kind of challenging, but I tried my best to complete it all.
How many of you found challenges today? All right, did you give up when you found the challenge? No. Because we said what? We only fail if we do not try.
Reporting for News 5, I am Paul Lopez.
And that's the news. Tonight's broadcast is available at channel5belize.com, on our Facebook and on YouTube. I'm Sabrina Daly. Thanks for joining us. And from all of us here at News 5, good night.